On Tuesday, I told you there was one mistake almost every person over 50 makes with their sleep. One that's silently aging them faster than almost anything else. This is it. And it has nothing to do with how long you sleep. Most people who say they sleep 7 or 8 hours have no idea their body is barely doing the repair work it needs. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. And you'll know the 3 things that actually determine whether your sleep is aging you or protecting you. But first, I need to show you what's happening inside your body every single night. Whether you know it or not, your body has a cleaning system for your brain. It only activates while you sleep. And if it's not working properly, the trash builds up. And that trash has a name: amyloid, beta, and tau. You might recognize those names. They're the proteins found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. This system is called the glymphatic system. Think of it as your brain's plumbing. A randomized crossover trial published in Nature Communications in January 2026 with 39 human participants confirmed, for the first time in humans, that glymphatic clearance during normal sleep measurably increased the removal of amyloid beta and tau from the brain compared to sleep deprivation. In plain language, when you sleep properly, your brain flushes out the proteins linked to Alzheimer's. When you don't, they stay. But here's what nobody is telling you about this system. It's not active during all stages of sleep. It's most active during one very specific stage. And that's exactly the stage most people over 50 are losing without realizing it. I'll come back to this in a minute. Now let's talk about what's actually happening to your cells when your sleep isn't working. Because this part is what most people have never heard, and it's the part that should change how you think about sleep. Forever, your cells have biological clocks at the ends of your chromosomes called telomeres. Every time a cell divides, they get slightly shorter. When they get too short, the cell stops working. That's cellular aging. Researchers at the University of Sao Paulo followed a cohort of adults for 8 years, measuring their sleep quality and their telomere length over time. The conclusion, published in the Journal of Sleep Research in 2025, people with worse sleep quality, altered sleep architecture, and sleep apnea had significantly greater telomere shortening over those 8 years. Their cells were aging faster, measurably, biologically. At the same time, 2 hormones are going in the wrong direction. First, growth hormone. About 70% of your daily growth hormone is released during deep sleep. Growth hormone is what repairs your tissues, maintains your muscle mass, and drives cellular regeneration. Research published in JAMA found that as we age, we lose deep sleep, and growth hormone release drops with it. Less deep sleep, less repair, more aging. Second, cortisol. Studies show that cutting sleep below 6 hours raises evening cortisol levels by 37 to 4.5%. Chronically elevated cortisol accelerates inflammation, breaks down muscle tissue, and impairs your immune system. This is the hormonal profile of someone aging faster than they should. And now the number that I think is the most important finding in sleep research of the last 2 years. Because this one connects sleep directly to the disease most people over 50 are quietly afraid of. A meta-analysis published in Neuroscience in 2025 analyzed 39 cohort studies. The finding? People with insomnia have a 36% higher risk of developing all-cause dementia. People with obstructive sleep apnea, which affects a huge number of Americans over 50, many of whom don't know they have it, have a 45% higher risk of Alzheimer's disease specifically. I want to be careful here. These are risk associations, not certainties. Having insomnia doesn't mean you will get Alzheimer's. But the signal across 39 independent studies is strong enough that ignoring sleep as a brain health strategy doesn't make sense anymore. And now we know the mechanism. It's the glymphatic system I mentioned earlier, failing to clear those proteins from your brain. Which brings me to the thing I promised you, the specific stage of sleep that makes all the difference. The stage is called slow-wave sleep, also called deep sleep, or N3. It's the stage where your glymphatic system is most active, where most of your growth hormone is released, where your brain consolidates memory, and your body does the deepest cellular repair. And here's a problem. Deep sleep is the first thing you lose as you get older. Most people in their 50s get dramatically less deep sleep than they did in their 30s. Even if total sleep time looks Same on paper. So when someone tells you they slept 7 hours, that tells you almost nothing about whether their sleep is actually doing the work. And here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They try to fix their sleep by going to bed earlier, or by taking melatonin, or by sleeping longer on weekends. Which, by the way, research shows actually disrupts your circadian rhythm and can make things worse. None of these address the real problem. The real problem is sleep architecture, the structure of what happens during those hours. And three specific things destroy that structure. Number one, alcohol. I know this is the one nobody wants to hear. A glass of wine before bed feels relaxing. And it is. But alcohol suppresses REM sleep and fragments slow-wave sleep in the second half of the night. You might fall asleep faster, but you're spending less time in the stages that actually repair you. The research is consistent on this. Even moderate alcohol consumption, close to bedtime, disrupts sleep architecture. If you're having trouble with sleep quality, this is the first variable to test. Number two, your bedroom is too warm. Your core body temperature needs to drop by 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit to initiate and maintain deep sleep. Most Americans sleep at temperatures that are too high for this to happen efficiently. The research suggests the optimal range, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This is one of the cheapest, easiest changes you can make, and it has immediate, measurable effects on deep sleep quality. If you could only change one thing tonight, change this. Number three, and this one surprises people, irregular sleep timing. Not just how long you sleep, but when. Your circadian rhythm controls the timing of every hormonal release I described. Growth hormone, cortisol, melatonin. When your sleep and wake times vary by more than an hour across the week, including weekends, that rhythm gets disrupted. A 2024 Science review found that treating insomnia and improving sleep regularity actually slowed the BROPE, biological pace of aging, as measured by epigenetic clocks. Your sleep schedule is a longevity lever most people never touch. Let's put this all together because I want you to walk away with the right mental model. Sleep isn't rest. Sleep is maintenance. Every night, your brain is supposed to flush out the proteins linked to Alzheimer's. Your body is supposed to release the hormones that repair your muscles and tissues. Your cells are supposed to fix the DNA damage from the day. When sleep architecture breaks down, even if the total hours look fine, none of that happens. And the research now shows that failure accelerates your biological clock. Not metaphorically, measurably. The good news? Sleep is one of the most modifiable variables in the longevity equation. Start with the three tonight. Cut alcohol close to bedtime. Lower your bedroom temperature to 65 to 68 degrees, and pick a consistent bedtime you can keep, including Saturday. Now, on Tuesday, we talked about supplements. Today, we talked about sleep. Both of these are things you do alone, in your home, by yourself. But on Saturday, I'm going to show you the longevity factor that might matter more than either of them combined. And it has nothing to do with biology. It's something the people who live to 100 in Okinawa, Sardinia, and Loma Linda all share, and something most Americans have quietly lost. Subscribe so you don't miss it. One question for the comments. What time do you actually go to bed? And is it the same every night? I'm genuinely curious. Drop it below.